What does your dog really think when you leave them behind? Do they miss you? Do they see it as a betrayal? Scientists have been studying the emotions and behavior of dogs for years, and they have discovered some fascinating insights on this matter. Before we dive into these discoveries, why not subscribe to our channel and join our doggy-loving community? Dogs and emotions. New research tells us that dogs can feel happy, scared, mad, and sad just like us. They also know when we are feeling a certain way just by looking at our faces and how we move. A study from the University of London found that when their owners are sad, dogs try to cheer them up by snuggling or giving them licks. So it turns out dogs not only have their own feelings, but they can also spot and react to ours, often in the cutest ways possible. What dogs think about when they are left alone? Dogs often wonder why they can't go with you everywhere. If you usually take your dog out with you, they might be puzzled when they can't come along. They might poke their nose through the door and feel let down when you tell them no. They might not believe it and run to the window to see why they're not coming in the car too. If a dog is used to staying home, they usually have their own routine, like napping on your favorite spot on the couch or heading to their crate for a comfy, secure feeling. Dogs also keep track of mealtime. If it's time to eat and you're not there, they might get annoyed and think, "Don't they know it's my dinner time? Where are they?" If you know you'll be late, leaving them a toy stuffed with treats like peanut butter and kibbles can keep them busy and stop them from worrying about missing a meal. Dogs dream a lot. Being alone can be stressful, and they might listen for any little sound that could mean you're back, like a car door or people talking. Eventually, all this listening wears them out and they fall asleep. Dogs dream like we do. Sometimes they twitch or make noises in their sleep, maybe dreaming about going on a trip with you or playing outside. Do dogs really miss us? In one fascinating study, a scientist trained a dog to stay still in an MRI machine to look at its brain activity. The research checked if dogs understand what their owners say and if they miss them. They did this by letting the dog in the MRI smell 5 different scents: its own, scents from dogs and humans it knew and didn't know. The results were fascinating. When dogs smelled a scent from a person they knew, a part of their brain which is linked to happy expectations and rewards became active. Another study watched how dogs acted around people they knew well, strangers and their owners. It found that dogs really do miss their owners more than others. They even wait by the door their owner left from, hoping they'll come back soon. While it's not clear if dogs know how long they've been alone, studies suggest they're more excited to see their owner after being alone for 2 hours compared to just 30 minutes. However, there isn't much difference in their excitement between 2 and 4 hours. How to tell if your dog is missing you? It's tricky to read a dog's mind, but there are clues that show they might be missing you. One big sign is if your dog seems sadder or more nervous when you're not there. They might whine, bark, or howl more than usual. They could even start chewing on things they shouldn't or cause a bit of chaos at home. Another hint is if your dog sticks to you like glue when you're home. They might follow you everywhere or keep asking for your attention, which is their way of saying they need a little extra love. How does memory help dogs to cope? Your dog's memory of you is built on positive associations, evoking happiness when you reunite. When you're absent, nothing specific prompts them to feel unhappy. However, dogs with separation anxiety may experience severe distress in your absence. In a safe and comfortable setting, most dogs maintain their bond with you even when you're away. The strength of your connection remains intact, though you might not always be the primary focus of their thoughts. How long dogs remember us? Dogs have a great sense of smell. They can pick up your scent from the air, your clothes, or anything you've touched. This amazing smelling ability is what makes them so good at search and rescue jobs. Dogs also remember through associations. For example, they might link people to fun times like eating, playing fetch, or car rides. So, your dog remembers you by your smell and connects that smell with happy times. A 2020 study in animal cognition found that dogs can also recognize their owners from pictures, and interestingly, boy dogs were better at this. Another study in 2013 showed that dogs pay close attention to people's eyes, even in photos, whether the pictures are straight or upside down. They especially remember the faces and eyes of people they've lived with or known well. The study also showed that dogs can read human facial expressions like being mad, sad, or happy. Researchers don't all agree on how long dogs can remember. Some think dogs can remember important people and big moments for many years, maybe even their whole lives. However, it's hard to test this because such studies would take a long time. How long is too long to leave a dog home alone? In the past, dogs were often left alone for a long time without much worry. Just a few decades ago, if a family had to be away for a day or two, it was considered okay to leave the dog behind. As long as the dog had enough food and water, most owners believed everything was fine. These days, not many people would think of leaving their dogs alone for 24 or 48 hours. However, it's still pretty common for dogs to be left alone for 10 to 12 hours. Let's be clear here. Leaving a dog alone for 10 to 12 hours is too much. Sure, some might say, but we've always done it this way and our dogs were okay. What really happens is that these dogs have just gotten used to a situation they didn't choose. If they had a say, they probably wouldn't opt to be alone that long. They've just adapted to our schedules, but it's not really what's best for them. So how long is okay to leave your dog alone? The answer isn't straightforward. Although dogs can cope if necessary, it's not ideal to test their limits just because we can. Consider a dog's basic needs. While dogs differ, most adult dogs need to go outside to pee and poop about 3 times a day. They shouldn't have to hold it in for more than 4 to 6 hours at a stretch. Sure, many can hold it longer, but that doesn't mean they should. It also varies by dog. Some might want to go outside every few hours if they can, while others are fine going only 3 times a day, even when they have the chance. You know your dog best and can determine their specific needs. Notice how they behave on weekends when you're home. Do they stick to their weekday routine, or do they ask to go out more? Also, puppies need to go out much more frequently than adult dogs. While you can set up a space for them to eliminate indoors when they're alone, the question remains: how long is too long for them to be left without human interaction? To answer this question, we need to look at how we look like through our dog's eyes. Do they know you're a human being with a job and bills and a minor caffeine addiction? Or do they think you're just a big, dumb, bald dog? Do they see you as their boss? Do they think of you as a member of their family? Check out this video to find out, and be sure to subscribe to our channel and join our doggy-loving community.